So how do you stay healthy as a developer? Today we're going to be talking to Michael Thomas. He is a YouTuber, programmer. He also works in React, so he knows the technology side. So we talked to him about how you become a better person, a better programmer. It's a really interesting conversation. Let's listen in. Hey everybody. Today we have an interview with Michael Thomas. He is a developer. He is a YouTuber. And I always like to talk to other fellow YouTubers who are creating programming tutorials. He also gives a lot of good advice on his channel. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, Erik, not too bad. Thanks for inviting us onto your channel.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started here. So can you just, I guess we could start off with, can you just tell us a little about yourself and what you're up to?
Sure. So, yeah, I'm a developer based in the UK. Got into web development professionally almost 4 years ago and have been figuring this thing out ever since. There's always something to learn every day. What more can I tell you? I used to work as a gym instructor. Then I moved into doing life coaching, was selling my own products online. And that's how I got into web development, by having to build my own sites, and discovered the web development community, and it seemed pretty cool to me. So that was my entry point, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's interesting. You don't hear about too many life coaches / developers out there, but it definitely happens. You have kind of a unique story. So how did you kind of mentioned you got into doing YouTube and development because you're creating your own courses. So why did you start YouTube and start doing videos?
Yeah, so YouTube, there's two things that influenced me there. The first was seeing other life coaches on YouTube making videos and doing really well, getting 30,000, 50,000 hits. So I figured it would be a good decision to make. It would be a good business decision to make to get into YouTube. But the thing that really got me off my backside and down to the store to actually buy a camera and actually do it was a documentary that I watched. It was this guy he wanted to lose weight. He'd been given a couple of years to live, and he documented his journey by filming every day. And I think the act of him filming it every day helped him to adhere to his fitness program, because he was sharing it and it was cathartic for him. And that's what really inspired me to actually start documenting my journey. And that's what YouTube is for me, really, is it's this whole idea of, hey, I'm going on a journey. I don't know everything about web development, but I have high aspirations. And if this stuff turns you on as well, let's go on that journey together. And so that's really the essence of why I do what I do on YouTube. Obviously, there's the business aspect of it, but that's not the only thing it's not the only reason why I'm here.
Yeah, and your videos look amazing too. You have really good lighting. You come off really well on the camera too. And I think you give some great advice too. So that was all, I mean, you put some effort into your videos, which is really nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. I do like to produce high quality videos if I can. That can hold you back though sometimes when you take it too far, to the point where you're not getting your message out there. So I would say just use what you have at your disposal and you'll figure it out as you go, and you can improve on the quality as you go. But yeah, definitely don't let that hold you back.
Yeah, that's interesting. So kind of advice for new people that are looking to get into YouTube: don't let the stuff that you have around you don't have to buy the $100 light set. You don't have to buy the really nice microphone. You could just probably just start on your cell phone if you want and get some good natural lighting in your room. And if you're doing screencasts, you don't even really need to even show your face at all. If you're just get some software so you can record your screen, you can just talk to your computer, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. Why not? If what you're producing is of value to people, then do it. I was watching Chris Do, and Jose Caballé, I think it is. And when they started their channel, their main channel a couple of years ago, I thought, wow, this is what I want my videos to look like. And I tried it and it just didn't work. And I allowed myself to get frustrated and I held myself back.
Yeah, exactly. You
So,
don't want that stuff to hold you back there. Now, you touched a little bit on life coaching and kind of being I guess a better version of yourself, so to speak.
yeah.
So I know that's a part of what you're doing too. Some of your videos are kind of, I mean, they're definitely talking to developers, kind of coaching them. But I know you're big on how you manage your time. Can you talk
Mm.
a little bit about that and how like developers should manage their time better, or
Yeah.
just in general?
How to manage your time better. I think you need to know what's important to you for a start and prioritize. So once you do that, you can then free up time to spend doing what you really enjoy. I mean, there's the other really practical stuff like going to bed at a regular time, waking up at a regular time. But actually, we're all different. You may find that it's much easier for you to go with your flow, go follow your excitement. That's what I would say, actually, is to do what excites you and just follow that thread, and it will guide you to where you need to go in life. Um,
So you try to
yeah,
be more
that's
like try to figure out what excites you, and then that'll help drive how you manage your time and what you spend the most time on. So if
yeah,
you're really
exactly. Like,
good,
yeah, rather than trying to figure out the perfect plan, because that can be a way of stopping yourself as well. Like, instead of taking action, we might spend a lot of time trying to come up with the perfect schedule or the perfect routine. And that can be really enjoyable. That can be very enjoyable to be writing down, yeah, this is what my schedule is going to look like. But it's actually a way of stopping you from just taking action and kind of figuring it out as you go a little. It's a balancing act, I guess.
yeah, I've been trying to balance a lot of stuff lately because I'm doing these YouTube videos, and as you know, producing one, two, three a week is becomes pretty daunting. And then I have a 9 to 5 job, and
Yeah.
I have kids and a wife. So yeah, I'm just trying to juggle this all, and also have a few other side projects. I'm doing a little freelancing on the side. So I'm passionate about all those things, but do you think that that's too much? I should say, am I just myself, for example? You think I'm
Mm.
doing one too many things, or do you think some people can just juggle all those things together? How
I
do you know?
think it I think it depends. You have to be able to check in with yourself and ask, okay, am I really enjoying what I'm doing right
Hmm.
now? And if you're not, then give yourself permission to take your life in a different direction, even if you can't see how it's going to fit. So, for example, you might get the impulse to, I don't know, go to the gym or spend some time with a friend that you haven't seen for a while. But then your logical mind will pop up and say, but how does that fit with reaching our goal of XYZ, whatever it is? But if you trust that, if you trust your feelings and follow those feelings, it will guide you to where you need to be, because you might meet up with that friend and they tell you about someone who's got this project, and it could be the perfect web development project for you, and you would never have found that out if you hadn't have listened to yourself. So it goes back to the old adage of know thyself,
Hmm.
know how you feel, and listen to your gut. I would say it doesn't mean that you have to be fly by the seat of your pants person that is just, oh, life is free and easy, skipping. No, you can still be a responsible adult at the same time as following your excitement.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
So,
Definitely, just even last night, I was like, I was gonna watch some TV, but I know I have to get a bunch of stuff done,
mm,
and I'm like, do I go and do this, kind of waste time, or do I work? And
yeah,
I think I actually followed my gut, and I decided to take a night off,
yeah,
which which it was gonna put me back a little bit, but I think I can catch up today as long as I don't do that every day, as long as I'm kind of responsible
yeah.
and do it. I just kind of think it's kind of interesting how people manage their time and how you prioritize. And I definitely think those are some good tips on to take a look at what you're doing and find looking, feeling into your gut and what makes you
Mm,
happy. I think those are really important things. So going back to I want to kind of hit this topic a few more times, kind of
mm,
this way how developers feel and how they act. So I know one thing that me and probably a lot of other developers, programmers struggle with is their health. How they become healthy and how do we stay and fit. I mean, this industry is notorious for people just sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours a day,
mm,
and it's easy to gain weight and become unhealthy. And I think as you become more unhealthy and you gain weight, I mean, you're not quite as sharp as you could be as if you were fit and your mental health was tip top.
mm.
Nothing wrong with people that are a little bigger. I'm a little bigger. So do you have what do you think about that topic, and how do developers become better at their fitness? Or
Well, I mean, I found myself in a similar scenario a couple of years back. I said to myself, right, I'm just going to learn iOS. I'm going to lock myself in my office. I'm going to just live off of pizza. And I'm just going to focus on this. And surely I'm going to get to where I need to go. And it didn't quite pan out that way. I looked a mess. Uh, I didn't feel how I was used to feeling because I'd lived a very active life prior to that, and I just didn't feel myself. And um, it, I mean, I don't know how to say it, Erik. Health is just so important. But you don't have to change if you're in that situation where you know that your health is stopping you from doing great work, you don't have to change it all at once. You can take a small step in the right direction. For example, you could say, right, I'm going to start drinking more water. It's a simple thing. You start drinking more water, then you feel the positive effects from that. And then you want to take it a step further. You say, right, you know what? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do some stretching first thing in the morning. And the water is already a habit. So you don't have to think about that anymore. You've trained yourself into that habit. And then you just take it step by step. So you don't have to set yourself this outrageous goal, right? I'm going to lose 3 stone, or just keep it small, but focus on consistency. Consistency is the key.
yeah, so
And
consistently work out.
yeah, and measure yourself on the consistency. Measure your success upon how consistently you're taking action upon what it is you've said you're going to take action on, rather than measuring your success on what the weighing scales say or what you what you look like in the mirror.
I know another
Basically.
YouTuber, you probably know, John Sonmez. He has this phrase called "trust the process," and it's kind of
Yes.
that same idea where you said it more eloquently than I can, but it's where you continue this consistent behavior, even though and you devoid yourself from the results. So it doesn't mean you never look at the results, but it means if
Mm,
you know that if you eat a certain amount of calories every day, if you do these small things like you're saying every day, you switch out your soda to your water, that after a certain amount of time that it's going to have immense benefits to your general body and health. So
mhm,
rather than looking at that scale every 10 every day, you kind of just you measure yourself on how consistent you are on doing these things, and then you don't
Yep.
look at the results. I kind of do that with my YouTube channel. I used to be,
Mm.
and my website, I used to be so obsessed with the numbers, and I am to a little bit still. I still
Yeah.
took it probably a little too much, but I know that if I put a certain amount of videos out every day, then I'll expect a certain outcome. And it doesn't mean at some point I don't go look back and say, hey, these things, this isn't working, I need to change it, but at least I'm trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, yeah, that's the important thing. Yeah, what you
Yeah.
just said.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below. Also, let me know, what do you do to stay healthy as a programmer? Leave a comment below. That would be really helpful. Thanks.